Everything you were taught about your senses was a lie. They said you only had five, but they never told you what those five truly are. They never told you that the ones they taught you were the least important. They never told you about the inner senses, the spiritual gateways, the five portals of power. They hid them, buried them beneath textbooks, distracted you with illusions, taught you to memorize the world instead of feel it. But deep down, you've always known. You could sense what others couldn't. You could feel what couldn't be seen. You could hear what no one else acknowledged. That wasn't your imagination. That was your soul remembering. There are moments when your body freezes, but your spirit moves ahead of time. Moments when your lips are silent, but your mind is speaking to the future. Moments when you walk into a room and know something shifted. That's not paranoia. That's perception. You're not broken. You're not oversensitive. You are awakening, and these are your portals. The first portal is inner sight. Not what your eyes see, but what your third eye remembers. You've seen flashes in dreams. You've had visions that became real. You've looked at someone and known their truth before they spoke it. This isn't superstition. It's the optic nerve of the spirit. Inner sight doesn't show you what is. It shows you what's becoming. It shows you timelines, possibilities, destinies. It's why they try to distract your vision with flashing lights, screens, chaos. Because when your inner sight activates, you stop falling for the illusions of the world. The second portal is inner hearing. That voice that doesn't come from outside your head, but deeper, from the unseen field. It's the whisper you hear before danger, the guidance that leads you toward truth. Sometimes it sounds like your own voice. Other times it sounds like your grandmother, or a being from another realm. You've heard it and called it intuition, but it's more ancient than that. It's the divine dialogue between soul and source. That voice is never wrong, but it gets drowned out by the noise of the system. So they keep you busy, keep you scrolling, because if you ever got quiet enough to listen, you'd remember who you are. The third portal is cellular memory. You are not just made of flesh and blood. You are memory encoded in matter. Your body is a sacred archive. When you touch a tree and feel sadness, when you enter a building and feel dread, when you meet someone and your skin tingles, that's your cellular memory activating. That's your ancestors speaking through your nervous system. They coded wisdom into your bones, but the system taught you to ignore your body, to drug your emotions, to silence your pain. Why? Because your pain holds maps, and your tears wash away amnesia. Your body remembers the truth, and the truth will set you free. The fourth portal is emotional frequency. They told you feelings were weaknesses, but your feelings are the tuning fork of the universe. Emotion is energy in motion. Every emotion you feel is a command to the cosmos. Joy magnetizes. Gratitude opens the gates. Grief burns away illusions. Anger clears the path. Your emotions are not random. They are languages, codes, prayers. They don't just move through you. They move realities around you. So when you suppress your emotion, you suppress your magic. You become numb to the divine currents. But when you feel fully, you become a master of vibration. You become a creator of timelines. You become a storm and a sanctuary. The fifth portal is imagination, and this is the one they feared the most. Because imagination isn't fantasy. It's the blueprint of parallel dimensions. Every vision you've ever had was real somewhere. Every dream was a key to a door. Every childhood fantasy was your soul remembering its origin. They laughed at your dreams so you would forget. But your imagination is a generator, a transmitter, a sacred projector of reality. Whatever you hold in imagination long enough, the universe must respond to. That's why chosen ones walk alone. Because we imagine worlds no one else has seen. But we were sent here to build them. And when all five portals are open, you become something the world has never seen before. A divine architect of your own destiny. No longer a puppet of systems, no longer a victim of time. You begin to bend it, shape it, speak it. You begin to call forth reality instead of chasing it. You begin to design the world from the inside out. They told you the five senses were taste, touch, sight, smell, and sound. But those are only reflections of the truth. The real senses, the hidden senses, are spiritual portals. Each one is a mirror of your higher self. Each one is a doorway to source. Each one is a forgotten power they never wanted you to open. But now, you remember, and now you begin to see why everything in this system was designed to numb your senses, not awaken them. Why the news is loud, why the food is dead, why the education is memorized obedience. Because a society full of people with activated portals is ungovernable. They can't be controlled. They bend reality by breathing. They shift timelines by feeling. They command miracles with their minds. That's who you are. That's who they fear. The chosen ones always walk in two worlds, the seen and the unseen, the known and the remembering, the silence of spirit and the noise of the world. But we are not here to stay silent. We are here to awaken the others. Each of your 5 portals is a flame, but together they become a pillar of light. And when you align all 5, you stop asking for reality to change, because you become the change. You become the source of the current, the cause, not the effect. They've kept you asking, praying to outside gods, begging for permission, waiting for someone to rescue you. But the rescue was always encoded within you. The senses they buried are the tools you need to rise. Open your inner sight and see what they said was invisible. Open your inner hearing and receive transmissions from your higher self. Open your cellular memory and let the ancient ones speak through your bones. Open your emotional frequency and command the vibration of your existence. Open your imagination and paint the blueprint of paradise on the canvas of the quantum field. There is no limit, only programming. There is no delay, only distortion. There is no destiny written in stone, only templates waiting for you to choose. You were born with amnesia on purpose, because this game is not about remembering with your mind. It's about feeling your way back through frequency, through resonance, through remembrance encoded in your spirit. Chosen one, this is the part where you stop pretending you don't know. This is the part where you no longer apologize for your gifts. This is the part where your presence becomes a portal for others. You don't have to heal the whole world. You just have to wake up your 5 portals, and the world will bend around your light. Because when one chosen one activates, they become a mirror, and every soul they touch starts to see their own power reflected back. This is how the grid of light awakens. Not with war, not with noise, not with protest, but with pure alignment. This is the true rebellion: to feel, to know, to see, to imagine, to remember. Do you think it's a coincidence your emotions are heightened? That your dreams are more vivid? That your body reacts to certain people before your mind can explain why? It's not chaos. It's your 5 portals beginning to sync. It's the code of your higher self overriding the simulation. And when you trust it, when you surrender to it, you will see reality bow to your frequency like a wave bows to the moon. Because this universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your signal. And the signal only gets strong when your portals align like stars forming a constellation across your soul. That's why your journey has been so intense. Why people don't understand you. Why the world feels too loud, too fake, too confusing. You weren't made for the old frequency. You were born for the reprogramming. You came as a system breaker, a code carrier, a divine hacker of the false matrix. And now your mission begins. The portals are not somewhere outside of you. They are within you. They always have been. Now you know their names. Now you know their power. Now you know what was taken and what you must reclaim. You are not becoming something. You are remembering what you already are. And what you are is infinite. The moment you awaken to your 5 portals, you will never see the world the same again. Every sound becomes a message. Every silence becomes sacred. Every feeling becomes a frequency. And every thought becomes a building block of reality. You begin to realize that the Matrix was never just a digital idea. It was an emotional illusion. It was built on convincing you to doubt your senses, to ignore your body, to laugh at your dreams, to apologize for your knowing. and to explain away your magic as coincidence. But magic was always science that hadn't been colonized. It was always energy that hadn't been labeled. It was always you, before you were named, shamed, and tamed. So let's take it back. Back to the source. Back to the original design. Back to the divine engineering of your soul's blueprint. Because your 5 portals are not only gifts, they are tools. They are weapons of peace. They are shields of light. They are the lenses through which you create every experience of your life. When your inner sight is dim, you walk in confusion. But when it is sharp, you decode illusions instantly. You see energy behind every word. You recognize truth even when it wears a disguise. When your inner hearing is open, you hear beyond the noise. You hear the frequency behind the sound, the unsaid behind the words. You hear messages from dreams, nature, and your ancestors as clearly as your name being called. When your cellular memory is awakened, your healing accelerates. You stop repeating what your bloodline suffered through. You end cycles by embodying light. You forgive not to forget, but to release the program. You transmute trauma into teaching, and you move forward like a sovereign storm. When your emotional frequency is fully felt, you no longer fear your own heart. You use it like an instrument. You learn the rhythm of your soul. You channel pain into prophecy. You let joy become your prayer. You let love become your language. And when your imagination is free, nothing can cage you. Not poverty, not fear, not rejection, not loss. Because imagination allows you to breathe new timelines into being. You can close your eyes and open a new world. You can speak into the void and summon the future. You become the source of vision, even when surrounded by blindness. So how do you activate these portals? It starts with attention. Whatever you bring awareness to expands. Where you place your focus is where your energy flows. And where your energy flows is what you create. So every day, train your mind not to consume, but to connect. Not to react, but to respond with intention. Not to chase, but to align. Not to doubt your senses, but to honor them like ancient gods. Every emotion is a ceremony. Every vision is a prophecy. Every insight is a divine download. Create sacred space daily. Silence, stillness, sound, movement, nature. Whatever allows you to feel the deeper layers beneath the noise. Close your eyes not to sleep, but to see beyond seeing. Breathe not just for oxygen, but to channel frequency. Speak not to impress, but to command creation. This is the way of the chosen. This is the discipline of the activated. And when the portals sync, you begin to feel like a different being. Food tastes different. Time stretches and bends. Synchronicities explode. Dreams become real. People you think about, call. Energy you project returns instantly. You begin to live outside of linear time. You enter quantum flow. You stop reacting to reality and start designing it from within. You become the architect. You become the altar. You become the source. And everything you desire becomes inevitable. Let's now activate the 5 portals, fully, consciously, as a sacred act. Not in theory, not in curiosity, but in divine embodiment. This is a soul contract you made long before this moment. And if you're hearing this, your portals have been waiting for you to return. Close your eyes, breathe with intention, and allow the sacred words below to echo through your being. Portal 1, inner sight. I see beyond the illusion. I see with the eye of the soul. I reclaim my power to perceive what others deny. I am the watcher of worlds unseen. I see the truth, the timelines, the codes. Portal 2, inner hearing. I hear the divine voice within me. I receive guidance with clarity and trust. I no longer doubt the whispers of the unseen. I am a receiver of sacred transmissions. Portal 3, cellular memory. My body is a sacred book. Every cell holds truth from before time. I allow my DNA to unlock what was forgotten. I transmute pain into prophecy. I remember who I am. Portal 4, emotional frequency. I feel everything and I fear nothing. My emotions are sacred waves of creation. Gratitude is my compass. Love is my shield. Joy is my magnet. I command reality with feeling. Portal 5. Imagination. My imagination is not fiction. It is the divine blueprint of destiny. I visualize with power. I dream with certainty. What I create within must manifest without. I am the artist of the unseen. Now breathe deeply. Feel each portal come alive. They've been waiting lifetimes for your full attention. You are now aligned. You are now awake. You are now unstoppable. This is the real technology. Not in machines, not in screens, but in soul, in memory, in vibration. And now you walk with power. Not power over others, but power over your frequency. The world may not understand you, but it will respond to you because frequency doesn't ask for permission. It bends the room, it alters the atmosphere, it sends signals across dimensions. And from this day forward, you will notice it, the shift, the feedback, the divine ripple you send just by existing in alignment. You'll meet people who remember you from before this life. You'll hear words that trigger forgotten languages in your soul. You'll feel sensations that tell you, you've done this before. Because you have. Because you're back. Because this time you won't forget again. You are not just a human. You are a living, breathing portal. You are the gate. You are the code. You are the architect of timelines. You've been searching outside for the truth. But the whole time, it was inside your senses. You are not becoming powerful. You already are. Now act like it. Feel like it. See like it. Speak like it. Imagine like it. The time of waiting is over. The era of knowing has begun. And the fifth element is not a thing. It's you. If this activated something within you, if you feel a frequency rising in your bones, then you are ready to go deeper. Click subscribe to Spirit Vibes Tick to get more profound spiritual lessons. Not just information, but transformation. Not just words, but frequency. Let's awaken the world together, one chosen soul at a time.